Mic check test. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hang tight, y'all. Give me a mic check, Vi. One more time.
1 2 1 2. Testing, testing.
Tanya B, pull the mic towards you and back off the camera a bit. You're sideways. You're still sideways. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Be with y'all in a minute. You're upside down. Don't worry about the camera. Come on. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? We are getting ready. Yes. Thank you for your patience. What's going on, K-Dub? What's going on, Vi? Is Tanya B in the building yet? Is she here? she, that's what we get up for. A nice spring day, sunshine, and all that good stuff. But we are all here. We about to get started in just 1 second. All right, somebody got Tanya B. Put your headphones in.
Oh, that's K-Dub's water bottle.
No, put your K-Dub. I can hear myself.
You foul.
Yeah. Tanya B, I put you on mute till you plug your headphones in. Your sound's coming through. All right, check 1 2. Check one. Still got to plug in your headphones. I can hear myself. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up as we wait? How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right?
Doing great.
Good. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get rolling. We got some folks who might be waiting on us, but we trying to. What's up, Vi? Don't be laughing, man. Technical stuff.
And I was worried I was gonna be late today.
Nah, not you. All right, we'll get there. Hey, y'all, what's up? Let's go ahead and get rolling in 3, 2, and 1. We all on the camera live, taping, doing our thing. All right, she'll be up in just a minute. Hey, y'all, what's up? Welcome to This is the G Podcast. It is episode 122. Yes, and more yes. Hopefully y'all are doing well. Yeah, all is good. It's a nice spring day. And as we tape today, got to say happy spring. To all of y'all. Yes.
Winter's officially over.
Tanya B, we're still getting your echo. Okay. So as we tape today, it is also March Madness, college b-ball, and also among all news, it was a big week in sports pop culture. I got to say that because fellas, you know, and I know this is really more than just sports. A lot of sports now, especially the NFL, is really tapping into pop culture, a lot of it. So, you know, just a crazy week. And we're going to talk about this later, these points later in the show. But Tom Brady comes out of retirement, just shakes up, really shakes up the whole universe, not only of the NFL, but how people view sports, you know, and this is going to change a lot. And I know some folks don't feel that way, but we're going to talk about it later. Also, interestingly enough, you know, all the talk, and I told y'all to Aaron Rodgers a couple of weeks ago, but his number one receiver said the same thing to him.
Oh yeah.
And Devontae said, "No, y'all ain't about to give me this low money." And actually he took the same money, but he's like, "I'm gone." So he's gone to Las Vegas. Deshaun Watson set off a bidding war after they said that he is basically now he ain't free. He's still got to deal with civil charges, but he was acquitted on the criminal charges, and that set off a firestorm in the ATL in Atlanta. So now the Matt Ryan defenders are in the house. They feel that the Falcons did Matt Ryan wrong by pursuing Watson. By the way, I don't know if y'all know, but Matt Ryan has made over $267 million so far as we speak in terms of since he's been with the Falcons. So that don't sound like somebody. That don't sound like anybody. That don't sound like somebody done somebody wrong song to me. You know, you know what I'm saying. It don't sound that way to me. So
again, they gave me hope and dashed it.
That's what I'm saying. They gave you a little bit of hope.
They could have gave that man that money. He worth it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So it's crazy. But, you know, it is what it is. We're going to talk about it later in the show among some other stuff. We're going to get Tanya B up and running. But each week we do news, politics, that pop culture, that piping out to you with Tanya B on This Is the G Podcast. And first, let me say before we get rolling, I got to say congrats to one of our pundits on the show. I don't even want to call him a guest. He is one of our members of the show, the one and only Harold Michael Harvey, political analyst, social justice warrior. He is now media relations director for NC Sports. So y'all give him a hand. Yeah. Doing his thing out there in the universe. Tanya B is in the building. We're going to get her up and running in just a minute. Catch the Bird Wire Friday and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. plus Saturdays at noon. And got to give it up for Tanya B. Working out her microphone and headphones and all that good stuff. Country commentator is in the building. Vi repping Columbus, Georgia and Forsyth, Georgia. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't say happy Big 5-0 to you can't, I don't know. You can't say a name. Just say happy Big 5-0.
Happy Big 5-0. Why can't I say a name?
You can say whatever you want, man. You can say
happy 5-0 to Miss Bree Osby.
Yes, there you go. Happy birthday. And also K-Dub, our music director, is here in the building. K-Dub, how you doing, man?
Man, get warmer. The warmer it get, the better I do.
That's what I'm saying, man. And that sun is moving over. That light.
In the cave, the dungeon.
Yeah. In the dungeon, you're doing your thing, man. You're doing your thing. But again, I'm your host, Tommy B. Check out Throwback Alley every midnight Sunday, 6 a.m. and then Sundays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. I also throw DJ Bill Black. Got to say what's up to DJ Bill Black for doing his thing in Throwback Alley as well. He covers for me when I got big projects going on. So you can also check my mixes out and DJ Bill Black's mixes. So let's do this, y'all. We're going to go ahead, and we got a lot, again, in the news to talk about. So let's go ahead and do it with Syracuse Mike, and we'll be right back right after this.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
Kim Fox, the state's attorney for Cook County, has declined to file charges against the Chicago police officers who last year fatally shot two young males.
While the evidence is insufficient to support criminal charges, It is important to highlight that the officers themselves created the conditions which the use of deadly force became necessary.
The decision concerns two separate cases, the shooting of 13-year-old Adam Toledo and 22-year-old Anthony Alvarez. Her name is Shalonda Young, and after being confirmed in a bipartisan vote by the U.S. Senate, she becomes the first black woman to lead the White House Budget Office. It's a powerful position. Young will oversee all budget development and execution. She will also have significant influence over President Biden's agenda. The Senate passed legislation that would make daylight saving time permanent starting in 2023. It now goes to the House. A 2019 poll found that 71% of Americans would prefer longer days and to see an end to springing forward and falling back. After Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, addressed members of Congress virtually Wednesday, President Biden announced an $800 million aid package for Ukraine.
It'll include 7,000 small arms, machine guns, shotguns, grenade launchers to equip the Ukrainians, including the brave women and men who are defending their cities as civilians, and they're on the countryside as well.
For the first time, Mr. Biden called Russian President Vladimir Putin a war criminal. When asked about it later, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki pointed to Russia's attack on a maternity hospital and other war-related shelling in Ukraine. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates Wednesday for the first time since 2018, kickstarting its efforts to slow down inflation. More increases are coming. It means the cost of borrowing money to buy a home or a car will go up. But don't expect your savings account to see a big bump. Banks are swimming in our deposits and don't have much of an incentive to pass along any benefits. WNBA player Brittany Griner is expected to remain in a Russian jail until May 19th. Griner has been detained for weeks after Russian officials said they found vape cartridges containing oil derived from cannabis in her luggage at an airport near Moscow. Many observers believe Russia is using Griner as a political pawn. The White House said President Biden warned Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday of the consequences should China provide material support to Russia for their invasion of Ukraine. It was a 2-hour conversation via secure video. The U.S. says Moscow has asked China for military equipment. In a statement from China, in part, the country said, the Ukraine crisis is not something we want to see, and conflict and confrontation are not in anyone's interest. The White House says more money is needed to fight COVID. Here's AURN's Ebony McMorris.
Now, more than $15 billion in additional money was taken away from a government spending bill after disagreements between Republicans and Democrats. Now, the White House detailed in a statement what could happen if funding is not passed. It said the U.S. will not have enough additional boosters or variant-specific vaccines if needed for all Americans. The federal government is unable to purchase additional life-saving monoclonal antibody treatments and will run out of supply to send to states as soon as late May. The government will not be able to purchase sufficient quantities of treatments for immunocompromised individuals, and the federal government will be unable to sustain the testing capacity built over the last 14 months. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Hey, what's up, y'all? And, Tanya B, you there? Go ahead and take yourself off mute for a minute. Let me make sure.
Am I here?
There you go. You're good. You are good. You are good. We don't hear the hello.
I was not in the Grand. I came up out of the Grand Canyon just for this show.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Tanya B's in the building. Hey, but coming out of news, y'all, on a serious tip, and I got to ask you this because the news about the officers being acquitted in Chicago, that kind of bothers me still. Do you think, this administration continues to discount the importance of police reform? I just don't understand, why we can't get some semblance of police reform in this current administration.
I've been watching the news this week in Chicago on WGN, and the stories that Syracuse Mike mentioned were on there. And the one thing that Kim Fox, I think something they're going to get rid of her. But one of them, she said one guy was had a gun. They showed the video. He had a gun in his hand, and that was what she used to justify why the police shot him.
Yeah, I just, and I agree with you that eventually they're gonna have to do something with her because she screwed up on the Smollett. She screwed up on the Smollett case too. But go ahead.
Yeah. Here's my thing. It's like, I get it. Like, they shoot, but do you, I say, do you have to shoot to kill? Can you shoot to stop them? It's like they always go for the head and the heart. You know, I mean, if you get shot in the foot or the leg, if you're holding a gun and they shoot your hand or your arm, it's not going to kill you. I think there's got to be a better way to do this. It's just too aggressive to me.
Yeah, yeah, I
And it,
agree.
and, uh,
Very.
and it doesn't stop.
And see, that's why I'm saying it's like some type of reform nationally. They're talking about the Justice Department putting all these guidelines in place, but a lot of these local municipalities don't put any of this stuff in place. But I want to mention that, and I think we're going to have to follow that. But you're not going to see it on the national news because it's 24/7 Ukraine. I'll just say that. And also kudos to Shalonda Young, first Black woman to oversee White House budget office, and kudos to her. Congrats to her. In Women's History Month, that's a big thing because she is the first African American woman to ever hold that
Ketanji
position.
Brown too. Don't forget about Ketanji.
Yeah, if they can actually push her nomination through,
what?
We'll see. We'll see. Also, y'all, daylight savings time becomes permanent in 2023. Possibly it's up to the Senate. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah.
Daylight savings.
Who invented that? Who invented that in the first place?
Quick
No, I mean,
time.
who wants to have their kids getting home from school when it's dark outside?
Yeah.
When you can go. But who also wants to have your kids up and out in the pitch black darkness of night at 6:30 in the morning waiting for a school bus, and you can't let them walk? Like, we used to be able to walk to the bus stop or walk to school, but there are so many predators out there now, you can't even do that. That happened, I think it was somewhere down in Clayton County this week, where a 12-year-old was at the bus stop, and this man who was a known sex offender was, tried to get her to get in his car.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I've seen that as a bus driver. I've beat down and rolled out of my bus, wondering why was they beating the car. This dude looked at least 75, 80 years old. Tried to get a little girl in his car, and it was dark in the morning at the bus stop.
Crazy.
But outside in the dark, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, and it really, and I got to say this: if you're a parent and your kids are going to the bus, you need to go with your kids to the bus stop that early if it's dark, and wait until the bus comes. Don't send your kids out there by themselves at night. Don't do that. Also, WNBA's Griner, Brittany Griner, is still in the Russian jail, and they're saying that she'll be there until mid-May, which I just think more should be done to really try to make sure that this woman is well taken care of. We definitely just can't leave it to Russia to say that they're taking care of her, and I it's a concern for me.
But she's not the only American over there. I think she's in the jail cell with another American.
Yeah, there are a few, and she's, I guess, the higher profile of the ones currently in custody. So, we'll see how that works out, because I'm thinking even until mid-May, they still may have a trial. That doesn't guarantee she's going to be released.
That's a long time too. That's a long
It
time.
is.
The other thing is, and I don't know about the other Americans that are over there in the Russian jail, but again, the person that owns that team that Brittany's playing for is like slick tight buddies with Putin.
Yeah.
So there may be more to this and they're using her as kind of like, I guess, the whipping post, or using her as the example, because she's probably the most high profile person in the Russian jail right now.
Yeah, I agree. All right, and last thing before actually one more thing after this, I do want to talk about this Crown bill. But the other thing is more money for COVID. And when I see the money that's being given to NATO or to Ukraine, when we still have money that we're battling over for this last bit of COVID, and I'm not saying last bit because nobody even knows if it's going to be last bit, but why should we be debating over money for COVID? It's amazing to me, but basically they're saying that more money is needed for COVID. Go ahead and y'all can find the money for this. The only thing I have to say, and I'll leave it at this, a lot of these situations with the money and these bills, y'all, to politicians out there and to folks in Washington, quit putting all the stuff that has nothing to do with the bill in the bill. Stop that. That's why you can't get anything passed. Just all the all the pork and all this other, just nonsense that you drop into these bills, man. You make it tough from a credibility standpoint to get anything passed. So I just want to say that. On another note, though, and I want to get, the take on this. Mike didn't get to mention it in the news because it happened a little bit later in the afternoon on Friday, but the House has passed the Crown Act. And Crown stands for Creating a Respectable and Open World for Natural Hair. And the act prohibits discrimination based on an individual's texture or style of hair. And it's on its way to Senate. And basically, it states routinely people of African descent are deprived of education and employment opportunities for wearing their hair in natural or protective hairstyles such as locks, cornrows, twists, braids, bantu knots, or afros. And it was introduced, I have to give it up to Bonnie Watson Coleman, Democrat of New Jersey. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, I started wearing locks right at the beginning of COVID. I just said I'm gonna let my hair grow out. I'd never had an opportunity. I'm working from home. I ain't going out doing anything. So I said, look, let me go ahead and just start my natural journey. And I'm telling you, the hate is real. Not necessarily from the people who are non-black, but people who are black who kind of follow the BS of their white counterparts. If that, and K-Dub shaking his head because he knows where I'm going with this.
Oh,
And it's well, I don't even say it's unfortunate. It's stupid as fuck that many blacks, there are other blacks out there who are critical because they feel it's best to be in lockstep with their white counterparts, especially at work. And it's amazing if you got locks, K-Dub, okay? A lot of these folks are basically put in HR situations, black people who are put in HR situations, and the white folks won't go to the people with locks and say, hey, they send the black folks, they send the black folks. But Kate, how long have you had locks?
oh man,
How
I
long have you had?
started late night, somewhere around there, and trust me, I heard it all. When you gonna cut your hair? Oh well, we them hire you until you get your hair cut or something. And just in general, when hair was probably a little shorter than yours, just
Hmm.
little kids and people looking at me, and I hear people, black people, to me like that. That's ridiculous. All kinds of stuff. I was just,
Yep.
going on,
And
going
in
on,
our
going.
business, especially in the entertainment business, I've always been sensitive. In entertainment sports, always been sensitive to anyone's hair journey, even when I was, in a position of hiring. And you don't know the reason why people have their hair in certain situations. You don't know. In a lot of cases, it's, for spiritual, religious reasons. You don't know. It's just like somebody walking up to your hair, touching your hair when you don't, without, can I touch your hair? It's so insensitive.
It's
And,
insulting.
but go ahead, Tanya B.
No, no, I was going to say that, the whole thing, what you're saying about that. And then you see a lot more of the female politicians are, starting to be natural. Then you had Ayanna Pressley, who just, in suffering alopecia, she just shaved her hair completely. But I was watching one of the NCAA games last night. It was interesting to see, as well as an NBA game, interesting to see how, natural hair has kind of become the norm for a lot of NBA and NFL players. But what's interesting to me about that whole thing is that then you see, now the white athletes are trying to lock and dread their hair. So I'm like, is there anything that other cultures won't do to copy us? They want to, they want to do it when it's convenient. They want to look like us. They want to emulate our, our swag and our style and our cultural impact. But then when time comes to be black, everything changes.
Oh yeah, big
Everything
time.
changes.
Yep.
Everything
But
changes.
but I gotta give an applause to the Crown Act, and
Yeah.
and hopefully the Senate will pass it. And I don't want to hear some BS from Manchin and Cinema. I don't want to hear that because you don't even know.
Marjorie Taylor Barbie. I just call her
Well,
Marjorie
you know
Taylor
what?
Barbie. Her
We
either.
can get 50-50. You know what I'm saying? We can get a 50-50 vote
50-50.
right
That's
now.
right, because then
You
they
know,
got to go to Kamala. That's
and
right.
then it's gonna come to Kamala, and if Kamala messes up, we
Oh
really
no,
got a
no,
problem.
no. She will not get $200. She will not pass go. She will go directly to jail, and she will not be invited to the picnic, the repast, or the funeral. Okay.
But
Nothing.
I just have to say, and it's called the Crown Act. It's been out there for a while. It's been passed by the House, and it stands for creating a respectable and open world for natural hair. I'm for it. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm just gonna say, just you step to me with that bullshit. I mean, if I'm walking and somebody steps up to me, K-Dub, I'm just gonna punch him in the grill. I'm not. It's just gonna be. It's just gonna be you. It's gonna be when they wake up, you gonna see like on Friday, you gonna see Smokey and Craig.
And they ain't there. But one thing. You talked about this, Bill. Let me just bring one thing.
You got knocked the fuck out. Go ahead. Know what you said?
And you find a lot of parents, and I see, especially I've been in Atlanta and in Philadelphia, and even in the DMV, a lot of parents have children who are age 3 and up, until they can make a decision that they want to change something.
Yeah.
But even now, kids are going natural and they're locking and dreading, and it's interesting because now I'm seeing all these female news anchors going natural. You've got Lauren Wilson here in Philly who's gone natural. You've got, I forgot the lady on Good Morning America. Then there's a woman named Alex Holly who does Good Day Philadelphia. Like we have Good Day Atlanta and you have Good Day New York. And once the Crown Act was passed, she came into the studio, did the show in waist length ombre, brown, blonde and brown braids. I mean, down to that she could pretty much sit on them. So she really went, and I give her kudos for it.
Yeah, but I got to say this, and I'll wrap it up on the Crown Act. There have been, and we've done stories on this podcast, and even on the GP3 podcast about kids in school. I don't know if you know the story about the kids in the private school where they went to school with their locks, and the teacher, without parental permission,
I remember reading about that,
cut their hair off. Yeah. And hopefully something like this will put a stop to it. I mean, leave people. I mean, you wouldn't mess with a Sikh if with the turban, their religion, or even when you look at the Hasidic Jewish community. You wouldn't go up to them and say, "Hey, would you cut your curls out of your hair, or would you take off your turban?" You would not do that. So hopefully, I hope the Senate comes to their senses and does something on a bipartisan level with this legislation. So we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. Let's move on. And with that, what we do every time, every week.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all.
Yes.
Sipping the tea with Tanya B.
Tanya B, I would say change the mood, but we got some foolishness in the tea. It's a foolish tea.
All up and through. First, one thing, I do have some positive news. I've got some positive news, and I want to say shout out to everybody in Philly, because Philly is hot on the block. Questlove Summer of Soul won another award this weekend from the Still of America, and
good stuff.
And Will Smith is doing his thing with King Richard, and they're claiming that he's the person to beat for the Oscars. But I think that's actually just really cool, because both of those movies are documentaries or whatever, are a bit long, but they're worth the watch. So just sit down with a snack and help yourself watch the Summer of Soul. Young people, learn something. King Richard just talks about resilience. And then our friend of the show, Shirley Jones, is going up to Philadelphia. It's the 50th anniversary of the House That Gamble and Huff built, aka Philadelphia International Records, and she's doing a live concert at the City Winery in Philadelphia on April the 4th. So shout out to friend of the show, Cheryl the Pearl Jones.
Good stuff.
Where do I go next? Oh God.
Go on to TLC.
Okay.
Let's see TLC.
Okay. If I didn't tell you last week, the story of TLC is supposed to be headed to Broadway. They had the small screen movie on VH1, and I think that'll be interesting because both T-Boz and Chili are going to be involved in the script writing of this whole thing. And I just say their fans are now at that age where they can go to Broadway, and hopefully it'll stay open and the variant won't, set us back. But I'm just saying, who will play, Left Eye, Chili, and T-Boz? Who's going to play LA and Babyface? Who's going to play what I say, the Prophet, the Prophet Pebbles?
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say, if they get somebody like a Fatima Robinson or a Lorianne Gibson, the choreography, because I got to give it to TLC, they had some dope choreography. And I think if nothing else, the dancing and singing in that movie in that play will be it'll be worth it, I believe. So
Good
I
stuff.
hope it comes to fruition. Because remember, they had Tupac Holla If You Hear Me, that lasted about 2 weeks. So the Michael Jackson, I hear that Broadway play is good, but it's a little shaky because Broadway's shaky right now. So just like you support independent artists, I tell people, please go support people of Black, brown, and tan descent that are finally made it to Broadway.
Good. What you got next?
Yeah.
I want to tell you about what's next. Okay, I'll just say this. Who besides me is tired of Kim, Kanye, the accusations, the rants, the threats, the mentally unstable behavior, all of that stuff. I mean, if somebody could please go put the 5150 hold they put on people for psychiatric evaluation. Well, we know that he wouldn't pass that, but he just needs to stop it because I think it's embarrassing. And I see Kim's kind of backpedaling on it. That girl that he dated for 58 days, Julia Fox, now retracted her statement saying that he wouldn't hurt a fly. I think she realizes that she spoke too soon before he got up there and started acting crazy, threatening Pete Davidson, but yet he's a Christian, and then now he has taken it to a whole nother level. Exactly. And there's a petition out to ban him from Coachella. He tried to say he wasn't going to go there unless Billie Eilish or somebody apologized to Travis Scott. But then, now there's a petition. People are going to boycott Coachella. Which is trying to come back after the COVID situation. So I think they're gonna he won't be on Coachella, and you see he's been banned from the Grammys too because of the aggressive behavior on social media and just acting. He's unhinged. He's really unhinged, and it's sad, but it's like people like him are also highly intelligent, so he's got an audience, and I think people just have to start ignoring him and shutting him down, and he'll either go away or he'll just go off the rails that much more. But at the end of the day, his kids are going to have to deal with all this stuff as they grow up because it's not going away because he put it out there. Now, he tried to get into Trevor Noah, and then the whole deal.
Oh, that was crazy. I don't know if y'all, you know what he said? Like with Trevor Noah?
He was calling him a coon. He calls him a coon. I know that.
Yeah, he did a tweet. You know the song Kumbaya?
Yeah, yes.
He said, Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya. And he was doing it directed at Trevor Noah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why they banned him. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that, and then you have the issue of, and then Pete Davidson's SNL, his cast members are supporting him. Kanye has been banned from the Grammys, but I don't think anybody really cares because I know they wouldn't let him on stage. They wouldn't let him perform. So now he can't even come in the building. So he is just completely banned. And I think that's okay. And it's best for, all of mankind. Now, I want to talk about Steve Harvey and his warning to Kanye West saying, you want to pull up, it's not what you want, man. Steve Harvey said, to quote him, he said, if y'all do get to scrapping, all my cash is on DL because you have no idea, okay? Damn. You've been a little politically, socially conscious rapper. We're from a class from the whoop-ass era, and you don't want this. So, and he didn't. I mean, it was not cool. I love that DL said, why are you telling me you got all these goons who will do what you say and you can afford to hurt me? Why don't you have them while you're on your way to my house, which you publish my address on, on the internet, and my family and I have been getting threats. He said, why don't y'all stop at the CVS and get Kanye some meds?
Crazy. But can I say this, y'all? And I mean this. I really think we're ahead of the Kardashian Hulu series, okay? It launches soon. I just think, and I know I may be a little bit simplistic about this, I really think all this shit that's going on right now is just intended to drive people to this new series.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
It's, I think, and whether or not that's quote unquote masterful or great marketing is another story. But you can look, and my thing, and people talk about the Kardashian curse, it's not necessarily the curse, it's how they use these brothers, man. I mean, the list.
Wait, even Ben Simmons
going
is on
back.
that list. Okay.
And they just know how to use the right people who are weak and they can and manipulate them. I mean, look at Lamar Odom, look at all this situation. I know people really defend the Kardashians and they're pro-Kardashian. They think they bring a lot to the culture. But I just, when it comes down to it, even, I'm telling you, what's his name on SNL? No, go ahead. What's his name?
Chris Redd or Pete Davidson?
No, Pete Davidson. I think I mean, I'm telling you, I guarantee you, Pete Davidson, something's going. I mean, Pete Davidson is not a stable dude. He's been on meds.
No, and that's what, and
He's talked about
he did, and he
his
said
mental health.
Kanye, right, and he said
And he,
Kanye, being mentally ill does not give you a license to be an a-hole, and that's what you are. And I agree with Pete, but see, Pete
Yeah.
got something coming up too, so we'll see how that goes. Because Lauren Michaels is going to put up with so much of Pete. And
That's what I'm saying. These
this
guys'
video.
careers, even Kanye's music career, they all look at Odom, look at Tristan Thompson. They all take a hit when they go through
But
this.
wait, let's talk about Kim's first two husbands. People forget about them. Kanye's her third husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reggie Bush and one of them.
Yeah.
Kim, that
he
was
broke.
Kim.
Reggie Burr got smart. He broke up with him,
Yeah, right.
and then married somebody look just like him.
How about that? Yeah, he hit the freeway for real.
He broke up with Reggie. Nah, I don't want none of this.
I don't want this smoke.
Well, let me tell you. No, well, okay. Now you want to call a thing a thing? This is this chick, the one that Kanye's with now.
Yeah.
And honey, she got some miles on her car. She's been through James Harden and the baby a little bit, one of them baby rappers. So she got some miles on her car. So don't expect her to stay around for long either. So can we move on? Because I'm
Yeah,
done
yeah.
with
Move on.
Kanye.
Move on. Move
Okay.
on. Move on.
I
Please.
know our the dumb donkey of the week is Jussie got out of jail. See, when you go to jail in the hood, you don't go to Jail. I told you, you go to Jaya. So
Yeah.
Jussie got out of jail. But you know what? Out of the psych ward. But the thing is, okay, 6 days, he was on a fast. He was only drinking water. And the thing about it is his brother needs to be quiet. Oh, they just put him in jail because he's black. No, he half black. They just put him in jail because he's famous. They just put him in jail because he's gay. I'm like, you need to just be quiet. And then, Justin got some crafty people he's paying because he got out of jail. But then they tried to pull the R. Kelly card and say, oh, well, he needs to get out because he's immunocompromised and he might get COVID. I'm like, well, you mean to tell me he wasn't vaccinated and boosted? But you know what? But, and he was just real narcissistic. And I don't know if the truth will ever come out because then he'll have to admit all of his lies, and they got the receipts to prove it. So what he's going to do now, what can he do? If he won't tell the truth, he need to leave the country, go somewhere. Maybe he'll write a book or become a minister like every other black person that gets arrested.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But I know one thing. He better be glad he's out of jail.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Well, there was a picture online,
But still.
and it said Jussie Smollett's attackers are out of jail, and the picture was of him. Like he attacked himself.
Wow.
Damn. That's wrong. That's wrong.
I got one last thing. This just came in, and we always talk about music, and I know KW work with some young people a lot just to educate themselves. And I say almost every form of music is rooted in something black, and country music has always been black. So every other type of music has been as well. There is a new Amazon Prime documentary coming on. It examines the new evolution of country music with artists like Jimmy Allen and Mickey Guyton. You've got Blanco Brown. There's this young man named Breland from New Jersey. He was the Amazon Breakthrough Artist of the Year, 24 years old. He's already made a record with Keith Urban. And there's also Shy Carter. So April 7th, help yourself and go to Amazon Prime and learn about country music has always been black, the documentary.
Oh yeah, and
Wow.
just to put with that, I can't think of the ladies' name. Johnny Cash was married to. He married into that family. But anyway, before them often be successful and bring country to the forefront from white people, whatever, and got a black guy. I have to see the documentary again and get his name. Who helped them develop the sound. Then they became famous and anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that was June Carter Cash.
Well,
Carter
June
Cash.
It was a black
But you
guy
know
that
what?
developed him.
Yeah.
No, wow. Okay.
Because they would go to these churches, and they would, it was on like the white
Yes.
version of the Kojic church, and
Yes.
that's what they did. And from that, spiritual music came country music.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Hey, you got anything about Young Thugs? Any updates on
Let
Young
me tell you about
Thugs,
this,
baby
yeah.
mama?
Now, there's been this thing that's really, really sad. I got to get to the prayer list. That's what I got to get to. Let me just start out with this. First, I want to say, if I didn't say it, we lost Ambassador of Soul, Timmy Thomas. Why Can't We Live Together? Drake, the Hotline Bling. Drake did him right, set him up, and he lost He just lost his life, and he was buried actually Friday.
Wow.
Why Can't We Live Together was like, it's funny, it was an anti-war anthem, but it's very still relevant now. And then you've got singer Khalees, remember her milkshake brought all the boys to the yard?
Yes.
She remarried after divorcing Nas, and she and her husband Mike Mora had 2 children. But stomach cancer is what took his life, and it takes a lot of people very young. If you remember Michelle Thomas, she played Theo's girlfriend on the Cosby Show. She played Urkel's girlfriend on Family Matters, and her daughter is D.T. Thomas, the co-founder of Kool and the Gang. And Michelle passed away from stomach cancer at the age of 26. That's
wow.
young.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's really young. And I got to talk about poor Kiki White. I know she's a loose cannon. I call her Kiki Cuckoo, but that girl can sing flatfoot in church and sing the phone book, and it's good. And now she's still out here working, and she's expecting baby number 11. And this baby has something called trisomy 13, where the kids only live a couple of weeks. They can have spinal cord issues. They can have extra fingers, toes,
Wow.
cleft lip, cleft palate. They don't walk. They're very small. Their eyes are are not normal. And so she's still carrying the baby, God bless her, and still out there working, because she got 10 other kids she got to take care of. And I would just say, really, just keep her in prayer. She's really going through it. And people on people on social media are horrible. I'm like, you know what, some people love to have kids, and if she can afford to take care of them and not have to go to anybody for aid, that's her business.
Yeah,
But
sorry to hear that.
they're really giving her
that. It's
the
crazy.
business. So like I said, as if she's not stressed enough. And she also lost her grandmother this week too. So that's why I say we really got to keep Kiki and her family in prayer. And then everybody was talking about the murder of, I think her name is Denavia Jackson. She's the mother of a 14-year-old with the rapper Young Thug. And the story that came out was that she was killed at a bowling alley, and there was an argument over a bowling ball. And information has surfaced that that was not really what was supposed to happen. It was basically a setup, and that she was actually, unfortunately, the pawn in another rap beef between Young Thug and this rapper YFN Lucci, who's in jail for murdering somebody else right now. So
are you serious?
Yeah, it wasn't a random act of violence. That whole thing was set up.
Let me tell you guys, if you're from the ATL, you've been in the ATL, it's on what used to be Stewart Avenue, which is now Metropolitan.
Right.
The bowling alley,
Center,
Metropolitan.
yeah.
And the cops were outside. And this is going to be crazy, because the Atlanta police detective involved in this, he has vowed to make this like a priority. So if there is something like this going on, a lot of folks are going to get popped. That's all. Because
like I said, again, the guy that allegedly is behind the whole thing is already in jail for murdering somebody else.
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, the Atlanta police have already made it a priority. And if you live in the ATL, it's all over the news. It's a lead story.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
it has been. Yeah. So these rap battles have before we come from a place where a rap battle was you got on the mic and you might have been the Treacherous Three and the Funky
Cool
4+1 or and LL. So, something like that. You did it with words, and even people that would fight with their fists. But now it's just it's a shame. Now here is this young boy who has no mother because somebody was mad at his daddy. It still solves nothing.
I want to see what happens with this. I know we'll see if this comes out. We'll see if this comes out about that quote unquote beef. We'll see.
Okay, well, I can send you. I got some of the receipts. I can send them to you. But
send them to me. Send them to me.
It's really
over a bowling ball, because the bowling ball probably belonged to the damn bowling alley. So,
right. Exactly. So,
but
this happened. Right. This happened, and then the person that shot her, they went and sat outside in their car and they waited and they waited until she came out. They wanted to make sure she was the person that they were supposed to shoot.
Outside. Yeah. Set up.
Yeah.
Set up.
They waited for her outside. They knew who it was. And right now, Young Thug still has not issued a statement. I know he's probably, even if they weren't together, just the fact that he is a person that is taking care of your child. Like I said, the child was 14. So this is before Thug even blew up, that we even knew a Young Thug existed.
Yeah.
This
Crazy.
is just crazy.
Hope they. Yeah, I hope they
None.
get to the bottom of it. We'll keep y'all posted on it. Tanya B, appreciate you. Hey, just a couple of picks for the week on Amazon. I don't know if y'all have seen the previews, and you know how they put a lot of these movies on the marquee. There's a movie called Master
I knew
with
you were going to talk
Regina
about
Hall.
that. Yes.
I don't want to. I'm not going to spill it, but it is. How can you say it? It's about Regina Hall plays, as in these schools you have, masters of these dorms or these basically these areas on a university's campus, these older universities. She plays the first black master on this university campus, and just weird stuff ensues. And I don't want to say anything about certain plot elements of it, but it is probably one. It's weird as hell. It's weird, but it is positioned as a horror flick, which it has definitely elements and some jump scares. But I checked this out this week, and it's interesting. I mean, the twist in it is even more interesting. But if you have a chance to see it, Tanya B, have you seen it? Have you seen it?
Honestly, I fell asleep on it, but trust me, it was late. But I'm gonna get back with it because I heard they pre-promote things. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it and waiting for it, and mother.
Yeah, and I don't blame you because it has its moments. But I will say, once you see it, I'd love your opinion of it. Anybody, our podcast audience, if you have a chance to see it, I'd love your feedback. I have my thoughts. I give it. It was okay. But there's just some elements. It's done by there was an HBO series that was done by a director. He's based in Dallas, and this director was part of that series. Random Acts of Flyness is, if you've ever seen Random Acts of Flyness on HBO. I mean, Random Acts of Flyness. Somebody did this smoking weed. I'm convinced somebody was either smoking weed. They were high on something. Random acts of flyness is, and this director who did Master was a part of that series, and it doesn't surprise me knowing that after watching Master that they were a part of Random Acts of Fly. I thought Random Acts of Flyness was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant, but definitely somebody did this movie and Random Acts of Flyness on weed. They definitely did it. And I'm not talking about the edible weed. I'm talking about the strong, ooh-wee, Martin Lawrence.
That narcotic anime.
That Martin Lawrence running through traffic, 100 degrees in sweatpants.
and with a little bit of Ike Turner, with some Ike Turner up in there.
Not the regular weed. Not the regular weed.
Yeah, you pay for your food at the drive-through, then drive off and forget it. I know what time it is.
KW, you speak as if you know.
I know what time it is. Put the gas pump in your car, start pumping, get in the car, and then pull off and shit. Don't take it out.
Oh my God. Also, y'all, you crazy. Also, Atlanta debuts this Thursday. I can't wait. March 24th. I've been reading some of the reviews in Variety. It just looks like it's going to be off the chart. And Atlanta, I went back. If you haven't had a chance, I would go back and watch the old Atlanta episodes before the debut, so you could, because it's been 4 years, y'all. It's been. Can you believe it's been
too long? It was longer than the Sopranos. But aren't they going to, like, what's it, Egypt or some other country? I want to see Paperboy.
Yeah, it's
some other country smoking weed. Okay.
They're on the European tour, and so my whole point is, it's like you forget where it ended. So I had to go back and look at the last episode. I mean, the last season. To get caught up. So, Atlanta is just hilarious. I can't wait to see what they do. And this is going to be the final season. They're wrapping it up. Also, I am checking out Winning Time, which is about the beginnings of the Lakers dynasty.
Oh yeah, I'm watching that.
Spill.
Okay. Let me say, you seen it? Have you seen it, Tanya Bean?
I don't have HBO. I'm coming over to somebody's house, or I'm gonna get the
okay.
trial and watch it.
All right. Well, Vi, let me ask you, what'd you think? Come on, man.
I like it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going, this can't be real.
Well, you know why? You know what I say, Vi? Jerry West. The way they're portraying Jerry West, I'm like, this can't be Jerry West.
Jerry West. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want magic.
Well, I understand his reason because Magic was 6'9". He was tall, but the way that they portray his mannerisms and
they say he's known to be quiet, but he was not like that.
Oh,
They say he was not like that. They went way. They said they went over. They went over the top the way they treated Jerry West. As he was not that person.
The Jerry West portrayal in this is great. I get the Magic portrayal. I see everybody, even what people have said about Jerry Buss, but the Jerry West portrayal, and he's still alive. He's running the Memphis, doesn't he run Memphis? He's the GM. Yeah. He's got to be pissed off. I'd be pissed off.
That's it.
I heard that a lot of people were supposed to be pissed off, and to the point where if the NBA could have stopped it, they would have, because understandably, I hear that they said it was too real. Like Vi said, they kind of went overboard with it. So you have to figure out what's fact, what's fiction, what's embellishment. What is the poetic license part that they took with it, with the creativity. But that's okay, because Magic Johnson got his own documentary coming on Apple TV, and he said that's the real truth.
But this is, I'm telling you,
they don't make Magic look bad, but
no, Magic, you can see Magic.
But
you
I
can
didn't
see
know
Magic in it.
But I did not know he dated Cookie in high school, though.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Oh,
the other, go ahead.
No, she hung in there. He dated Cookie and Nookie and Sookie and everybody.
Oh, he dated plenty of women, because that's why she wouldn't go there.
I say Tom.
Oh yeah, like it's those chicks from that era. They got some miles on their car. Catch that T, you know what I mean? I know.
Yikes! Yep. Hey y'all, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with Tommy's Corner, and because we got to talk about this stuff that happened this week. It was, and Tanya B, I want you to really jump in the mix, because this is pop culture. You know what we're talking about. We're not really talking about. Don't look at it as a sports conversation. Look at it as a pop culture conversation. I'm here to tell you. So let's do this, and we'll come right back. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, this, I don't know if y'all really felt this week, but one of the things, my big takeaway from this week is that the NFL is a beast. I don't care. You may not like them. You may hate the NFL, but one thing that can be said about the NFL is they've been sucking the oxygen out of the pop culture news for years now. And the season, you keep in mind, the Super Bowl has passed. Every month, almost every week, we've been talking about something NFL related. And this week, man, was just like, love him or hate him. Tom Brady makes his comeback out of retirement, shakes up the world. And the crazy thing is he's only taken $20 million so he can come back. And the rationale behind him taking $20 million is that he can build a team. Whereas like somebody like Aaron Rodgers is like, pay me all this money. But when you pay somebody on one team a record salary, which you don't have much left. You got a salary cap to deal with. So again, in my opinion, and then you talk about the fact that Devontae Adams has said, look, dude, you gonna do this to me all these months and I'm not gonna get paid. So now he's gone to Vegas. Deshaun Watson, and I guess he's felt up every massage parlor in America.
Hey,
he's off.
It didn't hurt his market. It didn't hurt his market.
It did not hurt his market because now he as soon as they said he's acquitted, I'm talking about the judge probably didn't get it out of his mouth all the way. A bidding war started. The Falcons almost got him. The Matt Ryan folks are pissed off. The folks who defend Matt Ryan because they feel Matt Ryan got done wrong
But
by,
they say that, but
yeah.
the Falcons still could have got him. They just didn't want to pay him that kind of money.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, let me tell y'all, Ryan, and people say Ryan was done wrong, but Ryan's made 267 million.
That's not wrong. That's not.
That ain't wrong.
It's a business.
But he
it's a
doesn't
business.
he doesn't deliver.
Didn't they say the same thing about Cleveland? It's a business.
Yeah. It's a business. It's a business.
Bet Ryan, this guy is better than you, and he's younger.
Yeah. And then finally, Kaepernick. And I got to say for Kaepernick, I know I've said somebody should give it. That's done. That's over.
It's done.
You know,
it's over.
It's not happening.
You know,
it's not
but you know what? Because he's been releasing these videos showing his workout. He pulled in one of the Seattle the Seahawks receivers to do a workout with. Right. But you know what's amazing to me? If you don't like the NFL, if you hate the NFL as much as and you say the NFL is a bad environment for black players, why are you trying to get in it? You know, I mean, it's like, you know, and the other thing is y'all forget the fact that he took a settlement. And this when you take a settlement, people feel like, okay, my hands are clean. I've done everything. So the NFL gave him a settlement. So, you know, it's pretty much done. I hate to see people blackballed, you know, when they stand up for their convictions. But the bottom line is he took a settlement. He's still getting paid. Right, and the other thing, go ahead. Go ahead, Tanya.
He needs to find his passion. His passion might be football, but let's talk, call a thing a thing. That ship has sailed. He's got to have some other redeeming value, whether it's making movies or, be having a sports academy. He's got to find something else to do, because it's almost like people are going to start to just really ignore him, I think, if he still keeps beating that drum about trying to get in the NBA. They're bringing back, the USFL?
Oh, the NFL, yeah.
Well, I'm just not the, I'm sorry, NFL rather.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
The USFL. Go do something there. But, just, sometimes you got to be like Elsa in Frozen, dude, and just let it go.
Let it go.
It's almost like he's wasting his energy. I believe he has a greater purpose, and it's not playing in the NFL.
And that's a very good point. That's my point. You've got all this energy that's geared toward social justice. I don't know why he keeps shifting his energy back toward the NFL.
But it's like
go ahead. He ain't played in 5 years. Go ahead.
But important to realize, he always wanted to play. He did not want to be the social justice. It just happened, and we made it him, and he just took it for the ride. It was never his intention to stop playing football.
Yeah, but
it happened.
And I know people will say, well, they've because there's been a QB shortage, and you hear about people being pulled off, like high school football coaches who played 10 years ago, and they pull them out and drop them into a league situation as a backup. I just don't think. I think the profile of this situation is so high that no team is willing to take a chance on it unless you get and I think a black owner. If black ownership comes into play quick, because he doesn't have much longer, and if they get a black owner, and black owner says, you know what, we'll make you part of the team.
And that ship don't sell because the black owner gonna be in Denver. They don't sign Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you think? Well, they're not there yet.
What I'm saying,
he could be back up.
Look, Byron Allen is almost at the promised land, and he's about maybe with the number 2 ranking person that even has the bag to even do that and make that purchase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kanye and Antonio Brown gonna get a full.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, they're making an album. They're making an album. They're gonna make an album with Kanye, Antonio Brown, and
they were trying, but they two fools. We're not getting two fools.
They won't sell them.
The new Zoo.
Right. They might as well bring in Tyrese and what's that? The Oscar from Sesame Street. Yeah, there we go.
I'm telling y'all though, that situation. Who's gonna okay that? Because what other owner is gonna say okay to that? I'll leave it at that. But what do y'all thought? What stands out considering the week and everything that happened this week? What stands out for you, Vaughn?
This dude, all the stuff he did, stayed out for a year. He got $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah,
that's never happened in football. He got most when you get like a $230 million contract, you might get $50 million guaranteed, 60, but not the entire. That's an NBA contract.
Yeah,
the whole $230 million guaranteed. So he's gonna get $230 million whether he finished playing or not.
Do you think he's worth it?
Yeah.
You think he's worth it?
I think he's worth it because he's only 20-something years old. He's gonna play at least 10 years, and you're gonna build a team around him.
You think he's going to be an immediate impact? Because he's going to Cleveland.
Well, he's gonna have, for Cleveland because Cleveland's stacked.
Yeah, they are.
Now
I
for
agree.
us,
Yeah.
and my thing is, Atlanta would have made that money because Atlanta would have loved the guy. A black quarterback, they would have loved him like they love Michael Vick. The dude would have got his money.
Oh, but that would have taken shine away from Matt. Do nothing Ryan.
But they already told Matt he's gone. They signed. He's gone if they sign Deshaun. They told him that. That's why they told me we trying to sign Deshaun. My thing is, I don't know if Atlanta just didn't want to. Felt like they just didn't want to guarantee that kind of money.
Yeah.
But they would have more than made their money in Atlanta.
Well, I think a guarantee would have been. I don't think the Falcons are in a position to guarantee that amount of money because of the fact that if you see what's going on with Matt Ryan, every year they're shifting money to try to build a team. The problem. Well, let me say this: when it comes down to Cleveland, and you said it best, Cleveland's already stacked.
They stacked.
The only thing that they're missing is a QB because Baker Mayfield has underperformed. Okay?
Well, they missing wide receivers now because all of them left. They got rid of all of them because of Baker.
Yeah, because of Baker. But I do think this, Vi, that there are enough receivers in free agency right now that they'll be able to pick it up.
But you had players was going to take less money to play with the Falcons with the Deshaun Jack. They even said that. They had Landry, that running back that put him in sign with Tampa Bay and the other wide receiver. They said as soon as he signed with Atlanta, they were going to sign like a 1-year contract. Because like they said, that's an investment. Because if you have a good contract, we blew it. All I gotta say, we blew it. We blew it.
I don't think, you know what? And here's the other thing that nobody's really thinking about, Vi. You know what I think they did?
What?
I think they also did it to keep New Orleans from getting him.
They did, and it worked.
Yeah, it worked because what they did was they jumped in.
They raised the price.
Yes, and I think that because Fontenot is from New Orleans, and I think he knows their administration. So his thing was, we cannot let Deshaun Watson go to New Orleans. So I think
if he had got a New Orleans, Lord have mercy.
So candidly, I don't think. I think
again.
I'm gonna look at it from a positive standpoint. They made in my opinion, they made two statements. One, we're not gonna let New Orleans just draft their way or free agent their way above us. And number two, that we're willing to get rid of Matt Ryan. We'll make a move for Matt Ryan. We'll make and see, that gave me hope that they are willing to move beyond Matt Ryan if the right situation comes up. Because I wasn't, they were giving out vibes that they weren't willing, they weren't going to do anything. And now this lets all the folks, I think the fan base, know that they're willing to move forward. So I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
Well, I'm not, because they raised my hope. Now my hope's been dashed again.
No, dude. I mean, we got time because here's the deal. There's still a few teams right now who are looking for veteran quarterbacks. You got the Colts. You got whoa. You got the Colts and possibly San Francisco.
But what quarterback we gonna get now?
Oh, I don't care. But here's my thing.
You just want Matt going.
Here's the thing. Even if we draft one, I'm willing to rebuild with someone new.
This ain't the year to draft no quarterback.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
This ain't the year to draft no quarterback.
I just think they got to figure. I just think they got to figure out a way to get beyond this contract, this salary cap issue.
I think they're gonna get rid of Matt May. I don't think Matt want to play with no more now.
No, and that's cool with me because you know what? It's not Ryan. He's a nice guy. He's not a bad guy. And honestly, I give him credit for not being part of the toxic nature of a lot of these situations with players. He's not been a toxic guy. Personally, it's not personal for me. The thing is, how do we get out of his contract? The contract is just, it's stifling the growth of the team. They can't do anything. So any situation that allows us to get out from under his contract right now will help us move forward. And that's the thing. If you can go out and I'm gonna say this, what's his name? Jordan from UGA. Mm-hmm. I think we should draft him at whatever the highest draft pick we get. I think we should.
They said we're gonna draft the other guy.
Okay. Well, I think that's not
the other defensive lineman.
Well, I'm just saying that we need to get out from under Matt's contract so that we can build a team and then possibly look down the road. Because it's going to take a minute. We're not going to win. We're not going to win with Matt this year. We're not going to win.
No, we're not. We do need to move on from Matt.
We got to move on from Matt, and the only way to move on from him, you can't move on from him with that big ass contract.
I think do him a favor, send him to the Colts.
Yeah,
that's all they need is a quarterback.
They need a QB. They need somebody, a pocket passer. They already got a running game. They just need somebody who's accurate, who's fairly accurate.
Somebody who can get the ball downfield, and he can do that.
Because dude is running for his life in the ATL. He running like I ain't gonna say. I mean, as soon as the ball can't get hiked fast, they can't. The snap, by the time it's snapped, they on it. So yeah, for his life, honestly, for CTE, you need to get up out of Atlanta. So for his health.
Well, I'm with you getting rid of him. I'm with that.
Okay, all right, y'all. Hey, don't forget, go to castropolis.net/This Is the G podcast. Make sure you follow us and all the information is there on our website. You can get basically you can follow us. You can find our social media. Everything is there. And let's do some final shout outs. Tanya B, you got any final thoughts?
Out to my family and all the posse in Maryland and all the folks in, I call it frantic Atlantic City who are listening. Thank you. And just, share and tell somebody. We have a lot of fun here. And
good
COVID
stuff.
is still real. Again, Ukraine is still, headline 25/8. But, just keep in mind that these variants that are out here now and COVID numbers are starting to creep back up, y'all. They creeping up. So just still be smart, listen to the authorities, and respect the science. That's it.
I hear you. I don't know. I was gonna go to K-Dub. K-Dub, you around, man? K-Dub, if you got any final thoughts, come on up and we'll check you out. Before you get to the benediction, you got any final thoughts, man?
Oh, sure. I gotta say, I'm with her. The COVID
with Hillary.
The COVID is here. Respect it, but don't start living cause it. Respect it. Don't start wearing masks cause this. I still recommend wearing masks. I recommend getting your booster shot, but we need to go back out there and start living life. Just don't be ignorant about it.
Hey, Vi, so what if somebody walks up to you and says, "Hey, man, you don't have to wear that mask. The mask mandate's gone." What would you say?
I'm good. I know that, but I'm gonna say
it's my choice. I'm trying.
It's my choice
Hello.
to wear this mask.
Okay.
And I'm also say, okay, and when you get in the hospital because you got COVID, I have no love for you.
You're not gonna punch him in the grill.
No, I'm saying leave me alone.
Hey,
all I can say is I have not had the COVID. Can you say that?
Yeah, I feel you. All right, man, go ahead and give us the benediction. What you got? Hey, you know what? I haven't done this for you in a while, Vi. Tell me when you're ready. You go ahead.
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead. Do your benediction, man.
Life is short, no matter how many years we live. Don't be deceived into thinking that you have lots of remaining time to live for Christ, to enjoy your loved ones, or to do what you know you should live for God today. Then no matter when your life ends, you will have fulfilled your plans for you. God plans for you. James chapter 4, verse 14. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here a little while, then it's gone. People, if the COVID epidemic has done anything, it has showed you life is too short. Like I said, if you got someone you love, somebody you mad at, let them know you love. If you got grievances, get over the grievances. Because just because they're here today, they might not be here tomorrow. Amen. Amen.
Amen, Vi. Thank you so much, man. Amen. Amen. We're getting close to Easter, so I gotta give you your effects. Yes. 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 Let me hang on. One more time. Come on.
Ooh, I'm bringing my tambourine.
Sound like amen. Sound like Sherman Hemsley gonna come up out of here. Yeah.
Amen.
All right, y'all. Hey, y'all, and with that, episode 122 is in the can. We appreciate you listening. Thank you so much for the support, and we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.